We're here at Battle of the Bands in Spokane, Washington at the Big Dipper, and I am today interviewing
Index.
So, Index, how did you end up starting?
Me and Lee just kind of formed a band back like freshman, sophomore year. It kind of fizzled out, and so then I formed one with these two, and then Dylan Simmons as well. Then he got kicked out, and so I needed a new guitarist and or drummer, and so I got this guy back, and now we're in a better band.
Can you tell me a little bit more about Dylan Simmons?
He had a big jug problem. We just couldn't take it anymore, and so he coming tonight though, reunion.
Sweet.
He might come on stage.
He's been in rehab for a bit.
Oh, okay. So Donovan, you play in pipe band in your high school?
Yes, sir. Drum sergeant.
Sweet.
Pretty tough. We go in a kilt.
And so do you, right?
I used to.
Oh, okay. Leland, you know you went to my elementary school, right?
No.
So when I interviewed you previously and I heard your name, it rang a bell because I think I knew your younger sibling.
My younger sister?
Yeah.
I have a younger sister. Her name's...
Yeah.
You knew her?
I knew her.
Can we bleep that?
She was in a couple of my classes.
That's crazy.
So when I heard the last name, I was like, "There's no way." So I looked you up in one. I looked you up in one of my yearbooks.
I had no idea.
Yeah. Is there an index symbol that we should know, like a hand sign?
Nah, not really.
Not maybe in the works,
Okay.
but not as of right now.
You should get index tatted on your index finger.
Okay. Right
That's
here.
it. Yeah. Or no, on the inner.
On my
Yeah.
right here.
Yeah.
Okay.
First person who does it gets $100.
First person who does it and posts it on Instagram gets $100.
Hashtag index on index.
Oh, that's sick actually.
Index on index.
I think Index and fellow bands of the Spokane area is the start of a revolution in music. This is where rock music and grunge music comes back in all the areas. This is the start.
No hate to non-rock music though. We all love like some pop and rap music, R&B, everything.
You mentioned grunge. Do you have any like inspirations, like grunge inspirations or rock inspirations?
My inspiration would be Mudhoney,
Okay.
but these guys might have some other inspirations.
You want to go?
I think I'm just doing my own thing, honestly. I think
This dude loves Radiohead. Too much.
Radiohead. Okay.
Radiohead is awesome, but too much.
What's your favorite album?
the Bends.
Oh, okay.
The Bends.
That's a good one. I'm a In Rainbows guy.
And Rainbows is great.
Yeah.
Is great.
Mine would probably be like Smashing Pumpkins and Nirvana.
That's sick.
And then Grayson, he's more of like a U2 fan.
Hell no. I am not a YouTube fan. Do not quote on that. I'd say inspiration of some music we play. I like some Black Flag. But like
He likes Oasis.
I do like
Oasis.
Oasis, but I don't get inspiration from them. It's
Okay.
too old rock.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't get inspiration from Oasis either, and I've never written a song that sounds like any Oasis song.
We know it's a lie.
It's a lie.
It's a lie. He copied the whole verse.
Do you have any music like in your inventory that you're waiting to release?
He doesn't.
Yes, I do. hey, I got a song written. They ain't ready to hear it.
Yeah, can you give us?
They're not ready yet. Give me some more time.
We got like 6, 7 songs that hopefully will be recorded soon.
Are you gonna be performing any of those songs tonight? All 6 of them, or 7? All right.
One that has never been performed live.
Really?
Yes.
Oh. All right, bet. Are you guys hyped for the show tonight?
Yes, we are, right?
Yes.
How many?
Index on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Index.
Kellen,
Yo,
how are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good, dude. How are you?
I'm pretty good. How was your this is your first interview, right?
Yeah,
Hi. How was that going?
it's going good.
You
I'm
pumped?
excited.
What are your future plans for interviewing?
I'm looking after Battle of the Bands. I'm looking to interview Hayes Noble, and then I'm just gonna go from there.
True.
See who I can reach out to. Okay, we're back. We're at Battle of the Bands in Spokane, Washington at the Big Dipper, and we are here with
We are Flyborne.
Flyborne. First question, do you want to tell everybody how old you are?
I'm 14.
So you're in 8th grade, right? Cool.
Yeah.
How long have you been playing drums?
From my perspective, probably 4 or 5 years, but actually just 2 years. I learn
Okay.
incredibly fast.
How did you end up getting into drumming?
My dad has been a drummer ever since he was 18, and he tried to get me into it a few times, but I remember it was just September, and I was just sitting in my room, and he calls me up and says, "Hey, you want to come see something?" So I do. A week later, I'm taking drum lessons.
That's sick.
So then I actually got a neighbor who's in Crimson Creek, but her name is Ember, and her mom really wanted to learn how to drum, and my dad was taking drum lessons. I got incredibly jealous and decided to one up, and here we are.
How did you end up finding someone that young and?
I met Nathan going to shows at the Big Dipper, and he was just the crazy kid running around in the mosh pit. And he just walked up to me, and he's like, "Hey, I play drums. You want to be in a band?" He's like, "I need somebody to play with." I think we just ended up jamming one time.
That's sick.
And I was like, "Oh, he's really good." And we kept jamming and playing and stuff.
Okay.
And then Jack ended up joining and playing with us later. Yeah, that's.
Do you have any music releasing soon, or you don't?
No, we do not. We do not.
We're still writing most of our songs. We get them to a finished enough point to play them live, and they're pretty well rehearsed, but we have a hard time finalizing.
Yeah.
So we only have maybe 6 or 7 songs that we've even played live.
Oh, that's cool.
So we're trying to at least play a few longer sets with different songs before we decide which ones are really keepers to really commit to recording and releasing anywhere. So for now, we're just writing and playing.
What's it like, just having such a young person, and just what's it like practicing and performing and?
Scheduling is great. He doesn't have a job.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really nice actually.
Yeah.
He doesn't have a job, and he always wants to play the drums.
Anytime we could get together, he's like, "I'm always free."
The reason it's scheduling is good is because my dad says schedule shows or practice anytime. We will work around it. I love my parents. Shout out to them.
Is there anything that you guys want people to know about you guys to attract attention or just stuff?
One thing, I guess, about us is that we just play to have fun.
Yeah.
So our songs are built a lot of one of us just comes up with something we think is funny or interesting, and then we just kind of jam it from there and just do whatever we think is the most outrageous, interesting thing we can do is.
Yeah.
So a lot of our songs are just kind of they start one way, and then it's just a progression or development of that until it just kind of blows up. He doesn't listen to metal. Okay, well, not metalcore.
What bands?
Well, I listen to a lot of modern metalcore, and then also a lot of the revival bands right now, See You Space Cowboy and stuff.
Okay.
I also like to listen to metal. I listen to a lot of different stuff. I really like indie and alternative music too. I really like Midwest emo bands and stuff like that is really inspirational. So
I listen to a lot of punk, so literally anything punk, anything from ska punk, heck yeah, Less Than Jake, Real Big Fish, got me going crazy. And then some of the local bands, Hayes Noble, always ends up on my playlist. Shout out to Hayes Noble, heck yeah, rock on, man. You keep doing you. And I listened to a lot of metal as a kid. Seriously, some people grew up with Katy Perry and Taylor Swift, and I did too on my mom's side. On my dad's side, he had me listening to The Pop by Tool, which I knew the words of when I was 6. Also Slipknot and Primus, and heck yeah.
yeah, thank you for having us. We're really excited to play, and it's going to be awesome. Excited to see all the other bands playing, and it's going to be really cool.
Bye. We are here back at Battle of the Bands with.
When She Dreams.
Yeah.
So I'm Sam. I do lead/bass.
Yeah.
I'm Jackson Lighty. I am the lead vocal and guitar.
I'm Elijah. I do backup guitar, backup vocals, bass, and I'm the manager, like social media manager. So
That's cool.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, of course. So, When She Dreams, I looked at your Spotify. All your music sounds super good. Your sound check sounded really good.
Thank you.
What would you say, like, inspires a lot of your music and inspires you to make music?
Well, I'll go first. We started out kind of in the 6th grade, so back 2016. Not really a huge, like, talent tree or anything. We weren't very good at what we did, but we just wanted to do it really bad. So overall, I'd say just, our main inspiration is each other and, like, teaching each other and learning from each other and taking ideas from each other.
yeah, we don't really take inspiration from a lot of different bands. I mean, Mute Math is one of them, I guess. Slight inspiration from 21 Pilots, I guess. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of just our own thing, to be honest.
Is there special things that we should know about you guys?
I'm probably the first homeless person to play live at the Big Dipper, I think. We're from Post Falls. That helps as well.
Oh,
We're
okay.
Idaho fellas.
Yeah.
I was raised in Seattle, though. This guy was raised in this area, I believe. This guy was raised in California.
Yeah, like he said before, me and Jackson started the band like 6th grade. At the time, we had a different name for it. We've gotten a lot of different people in the band, like coming and going, like people moving away.
Can we know that name that you guys started out with, or?
Oh, it was originally Golden Hour.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What made you change it?
Yeah, I was taken.
Oh, okay.
One night, me and Jackson just chilling in his room, just hanging out, brainstorming ideas until we came up with When She Dreams.
I like that name. So did you guys end up moving all to Spokane or Post Falls, I mean, and then meeting there, or?
Well,
Like I said, I grew up in Seattle, and then right around when I was in 5th grade, I moved over to Post Falls area. I met Sam, who had just moved like a year prior, or like even that same year. And then we didn't know Elijah for the longest time, but my girlfriend actually knew him from like her old church and stuff.
Oh, okay.
So we hung out one time, and he was like, dude, I like your music and like all this stuff. And we just started goofing around. And, there's not really like a central location too. It's even hard to call it a band sometimes.
Yeah.
Because it's really more of a collective of whoever wants to help out and participate. But, yeah, we're all over the place, and I think I'm okay with that,
well, I guess for the most part, we kind of collectively come to Elijah's house. That's kind of where we usually play and practice.
Do you guys practice in like a basement or a garage or anything?
Yeah, we've got like a garage, sometimes up in his room.
We're also practicing Paperboy Studios.
Okay.
Yeah, we our drummer as of right now, Dunn Reeb, we ever since we got in contact with him, I used to sell tickets and do security for shows back when I was like 16, and I had met Johnny, the owner of Paperboy Studios. He works for the Spokesman Review, but he has a really nice studio out in Spokane, and we go down there for that. And then my mom just recently, actually like 2 days ago, we were renovating our shop, and she built us a band room, so actually just yesterday we got our first practice in there.
That's super
So,
cool.
Yeah, it's really sick.
What are your thoughts about participating and being here for Battle of the Bands?
It's hard to say that we can expect to win. Obviously, some really good competition, especially some people we know. Ryder Nairn of Flyborne is an incredible musician. But I think, like Sean said earlier, guy here, said, it's all about the community and, like, everybody coming together. And, right off rip, we're, like, already borrowing a couple instruments and a couple pieces of equipment and stuff. And
I like how the community of just musicians and
Yeah.
people come together here and just play and have fun. I think it's going to be a really good night tonight.
Yeah, I'm really excited. I actually signed up for the Battle of the Bands earlier in December, I believe. I had no idea we were going to get in. I didn't really even know what the rock club was whatsoever, but like a week after I signed up for that, I contacted the Dipper about doing a headlining show here, and we were like, he said one of the only days open was the 2nd, and it was a Sunday, and we're like, okay, sweet, yeah, so we'll do that. Then like 2 weeks later, the Battle of the Bands got back to us, and they're like, okay, so you're playing on the 1st. So we have 2 back-to-back shows. I mean, it is really nice. I feel like it will affect the amount of people that come to our show on the 2nd, but it's nice practice playing 2 back-to-back shows.
Yeah, I mean,
like, it's nice that both of the shows are here at the Dipper, so they're letting us like leave our gear here. We don't have to pack it up, bring it back to Post Falls, unload, and do the same thing tomorrow. But
yeah. So you guys have to commute from Post Falls to here every day?
Yeah.
Or not every day, but
it's only about like a 25-minute drive, but
yeah, it's not terrible, but that's cool.
A bit further than most of the bands.
And then you guys had a temporary drummer, right? As you were
Yeah,
talking
shout
about?
out Dun Reeb, Aiden, Death Race, whatever you want to call him. He's helping us out, and he's been a big help. Got us set up with Paperboy Studios and Johnny Velvet, and he's a good guy.
Super.
Yeah, we've never really had like a permanent drummer. So, like a couple shows ago, we played with another guy, Josh. He's from Solus. He plays with Solus.
Okay.
So yeah, we kind of just, like we said, it's kind of a collective. Whatever we can get.
Yeah, it's all now.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Thank you guys so much. And that's been When She Dreams. We're here back in Spokane, Washington with the person that puts on Battle of the Bands at the Big Dipper. So do you want to introduce yourself?
My name is Sean Burgett, and I'm putting on the Battle of the Bands. If you had to boil it down to one person, I run Rock Club, which is a music program where I kind of work with bands out in Spokane Valley.
What history do you have being in bands and just music in general?
My history starts, as soon as you could get a chance to play an instrument in school, just going from violin to, or viola to trumpet to finally getting on drums and actually giving half a crap about it. From to the point where I'm on this stage during the Rock Final Four, which was one of the local Battle of the Bands we had when I was in high school. I graduated in 2007. So I think it was the last year after that. It was like one of the last years they had it, and it was pretty exciting to have a chance to play on this stage, because this was a really cool stage to play on, and as a high school band, you're just trying to get your foot in the door, and there were a lot more predatory tactics at that time as far as making bands pre-sell a certain amount of tickets, or they have to pay something in order to play.
Right.
A lot of weird stuff happened back in the day that we fell prey to, unfortunately, but that's been on our minds this whole time going into this, as far as vetting how we do this and that it's ethical first and foremost.
How do you end up getting all these bands here? Do you ask them, or do they ask you?
Well, it didn't take much. I didn't have to put any money into marketing or advertising for getting bands to sign up, thankfully, which we were all wondering how we were going to get as many bands as we needed. That was always everyone's first thing. Everyone thought about doing Battle of the Bands for years, but how do we get all the bands? Are there even enough bands out there to really want to do this?
Right.
And I work with, right now I have 10 bands I work with. I've had up to 15 at a time. Back at our last Battle of the Bands we hosted in 2019. We called it the first annual. I guess shouldn't have done that. It was a little for our last one we did for up until today.
Yeah.
But that's the thing about when we started putting this together. I had a few bands already, a handful. We actually have 7 in competition out of the 17 bands performing. We got 2 to come from the West Valley High School After School Rock Club rock band program, and then we also have 8 bands additionally that just found us based on only posting on Instagram from our Rock Club Spokane or Rock Club Spokane page on Instagram, and it connects to Facebook, and most of it came from Instagram, with just putting a little link to our website, rockclubmusic.com, which that's the thing. So we had enough bands sign up, and they just kept pouring in. I just said, everyone share this. Enough bands shared it on their stories. Everyone saw it, and we ended up with, eventually we originally had 19 signups. We had 2 bands had to drop out for whatever reason. But we still ended up with we wanted 16 would have been perfect for our bracketed system. We ended up with 1 extra, and we were like, cool, we can do it.
Yeah,
we can manage it.
That's super cool. What's it like, just scheduling all these big events?
Well, I've put on, since we started Rock Club back in 2014, which was over 10 years ago, I've put on 50 something shows. We just had our 50th end of last year. One of our shows, that VIP, was our biggest stage we've ever played on. Was pretty cool for their gear exchange, but that was our 50th show. We've had one since then, so this isn't a Rock Club showcase, but it's my 53rd show I put on in 10 years. So comparatively to those other shows, as far as organizing, this has been a huge undertaking comparatively. Just organizing the fact that we have 4 preliminary shows, picking a winner from each one, going into a final round, which we have to find a venue that's big enough, and we're going to build a stage. We're actually announced it already. We're having it at Players and Spectators on March 22nd. So we'll have 6 final rounds, finalists there, 4 from one each winner each week for our preliminaries, and then we're going to go back through and pick the 2 runner-up bands that should have won, if they couldn't, and to have our 6 bands that'll play at the final showcase for all the big prizes, including recording package, getting an album made, possibly some multimedia in there, and also a merchandise package to be able to make custom merch to sell without having to put any money into it, just giving it to you as a prize. So amongst other things that will come to fruition as well, you'll find out tonight we're giving away lots of other little things here and there too.
Yeah. Sweet.
Yeah.
A couple more things. Can you tell us like the history behind Battle of the Bands? Because
Oh, man.
a long time ago.
No, I've been waiting for somebody to ask me this.
Yeah.
I mean, like, my history goes back to the early mid-2000s as far as seeing Bob Fest and Battle of the Bands here. I've heard about other ways Battle of the Bands have existed. There was Fat Tuesdays was a venue back at the old No Lie Brewery. They used to have a Battle of the Bands there when Miles Kennedy was in town. If everyone knows who that is, he was in town kind of doing a lot of stuff that's similar to what I was doing. Right. I'm not the next Miles Kennedy. I've reached that point. I've passed that point in my life for sure.
Okay.
No, he's a pretty big celebrity nowadays. But anyway, there have been a lot of ways to. The whole point behind it is that we're trying to make sure that bands can connect with each other and find a community amongst themselves, because they oftentimes bands feel like they're in competition with each other in the wild. Even though they're in competition now, it should feel more comfortable than ever in the fact that we're all just here as a community to get to know each other, to have a fun time, to play for a bigger crowd than you might be able to play for if you just got kind of your bands together from your high school. It's hard to rally a big enough crowd to sell out a mid-sized venue like this. So I think the whole point is to just give everybody a bigger experience than a lot of high school bands have reached at this point, and to have something bigger to strive for, something to reach for. Every band that doesn't win this show or win the final show should look at this as a huge win in the fact that they still got to participate. They got their names on the back of this shirt.
Yeah.
And for me, I mean, that's everything.
I feel like that's a pretty big big win in my book.
For
like,
sure.
If I was playing here and I just saw my name on a T-shirt, I'd be like, dude, that's sick.
Stokage all the way. I'm excited someone took an interest and wanted to make something. I mean, I wanted to see like some video afterward of what these bands are going to do tonight. I want to see like someone's perspective on what happened here tonight that isn't just my own, because it really comes down to like everyone's going to have their experience here, and the fans haven't even showed up yet. The doors aren't even open yet. We have yet to see if we're going to sell out tonight or not. Yeah. But we're hoping for strong numbers.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. All right, cool. Thanks, you guys.
Thank you so much.